Welcome to the new Ryusen show. Without further delay, because we cannot have any delays. I mean, that is something that happens too often on this show. Oh, delay. Yeah, but we're really gonna discuss. An intellect. That wasn't funny. Oh, we're really gonna discuss an intellectual conversation here about we, as in I want you to comment back on what you think of what I'm about to say. My topic I'm about to delve into is video games are an art. And I believe video games are an art because they bring about emotion. They bring about emotion and they bring about creativity in so many ways. And I'll be proud to give you some examples. Emotion in the sense that we feel an attachment to many video game characters, particularly in role-playing games. When we see a character die, it really in a video game, it really brings us to a reality within the game that this can happen in reality, and it also happens in video games. And we actually feel an attachment to these characters. These characters are actually the product of one's imagination. So video games really do this. Really are the product of one's imagination brought to life. That's how I like to think of video games. You know that like some famous video game designers, like I don't know if I'm going to pronounce his names right, Tetsuya Nomura, which is the character designer of Final Fantasy VII. A lot of players I know feel a connection with Cloud. That he always feels like he is alone, but he never is. He always has his friends with him, and to witness, Ares' death within Sephiroth, you see him have an identity crisis within himself. I believe that's something that many of us have within ourselves. Many of us have had an identity crisis where we're not even sure who we are. Sometimes I don't know who I am, and we think we do, but sometimes we don't know ourselves that well. And we're confused and we're at conflict within ourselves, within our own thoughts. So these are the kind of concepts that are within video games that also are in players' real lives. That the storytellers of video games, the ones who write them with in mind to grasp the attention of players and also try to build a bond and connection. And many of them, succeed. I like even say that Final Fantasy X had like that rock star essence to it. The first time I played Final Fantasy X, it really had that I feel like a rock star playing in this game. Especially hearing Otherworld, which is an old kick-ass song. Hearing that song in the game and just the high quality of the game itself and the well-written, intelligent story itself just really made me feel like a rock star. And I believe that's what video games bring out in us. Final Fantasy VII brought out a lot of emotion in me as well. Brought out the emotion of life. Final Fantasy VII is the tale of life, believe it or not. I mean, if you look into the story more deeper, you'll see that, the promised land is in the Bible, if you didn't know that. And, seeing, world destruction and all that, it really, it brought out a real deep emotion. Players, like I'm going to say like in the Zelda series, I don't know what I'm saying. The Zelda series. I'd like to say about the Zelda series. What's special about the Zelda series is that it brings out that sense of wonder in us. That sense to explore. That sense to see new and daring things. And that sense of accomplishment. I really get a big sense of accomplishment in Zelda when I solve a puzzle. Or when I defeat an enemy. And sometimes the soothing ocarina songs are... Oh, they're so nice. Oh, the fan in me is coming out. Ha 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 ha. Don't you look at me. I'm sorry. The fan in me is coming out. Yeah. Anyways, another favorite video game series of mine is Metal Gear Solid. Tactical espionage action. Um, what's really special about Metal Gear Solid is that it's unique in every essence of the word unique itself. I mean, Metal Gear Solid is so brilliantly produced, I don't even know where to begin. From the writing of the script to the way the characters sometimes get in your mind, like Psycho Mantis, to the humor, to the everything is just really great about Metal Gear Solid. But where is this getting with the discussion that video games are an art and such? Video games are an art in every bit of their structure, from the art that's actually in the game, from the character designs, from the world that's in the game, to the script, which scripts can be an art, mind you, right? And writing is an art, to the humor, which is an art, their interactive experiences, the music within them is an art. Every single thing within them can be considered an art. And all this combination that builds the foundation of video games and it really structures them all together. It's really, when you think of it, I'm trying to put this into words, video games are a structure of art. They're a structure of art in every essence. Every essence. Like I said, from the music to the world in the game, to the characters, to the scripts, to the emotions conveyed in the games. Video games are an art. And I keep repeating that because I want you to drill that into your mind. I'm not trying to force my opinion into you. If you play any of these games, you'll try to understand it in this deep philosophic sense that video games help you get a broader perspective on life, and that they bring about the imaginative side of your mind, and that's really saying something special. Video games have brought out a strong bond within players. You know, I like to say that there was in one issue of Nintendo Power I read a while ago of a kid he sent in. I'm not exactly sure how the story went. It was a family member of his that had cancer, and he wrote in a letter that in his hospital bed he played Zelda Ocarina of Time in his hospital bed, and he actually played it. I'm not sure if it was his brother or if it was his cousin, but they played it together before he passed away. What this means is that video games have such a strong bond within our lives that they are truly need to be treated with high respect, and that it's completely unfair that video games are not held to the same high regard by many critics as movies or television. We always point the finger at video games saying they're murder simulators. I don't view them as murder simulators. I view them as beautiful experiences, beautiful artistic, creative experiences that really hold a lot of merit and really hold a lot of beauty. You know, I mean, video games are beautiful in that they really enrich our lives in many ways. You know, and you get into certain series, you'll find you'll like certain things, and you know, video games offer a lot of diversity and they offer a lot of variety, so you'll find something you like. Even the casual gamers, like I'm sure moms across the country are digging Cooking Mama, right? On the Wii. That wasn't funny. But, you know, my lame attempts at jokes just aren't really at work here in this episode. I just really wanted to engage in an intellectual conversation here, and I believe I've accomplished my mission. And, you know, I don't know how many views this video will get. I'm assuming it probably won't get too many views, and I even could be talking to myself. How sad. But, you know, it was an interesting conversation with myself, I'll say that at the least. And I don't know if... Yeah, I'm not going to doubt myself. This was a good video, okay? Bye, and stay classy, folks, okay? Yeah. Or as Link would say,